Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm your host, Paul Jasson. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure to have you with us. And as we tape today in downtown, it's just a beautiful fall day in Lancaster. We're so thankful for these kind of days. Again, everybody loves this kind of weather when it gets a little cooler. Everybody knows this is a great time of the year. It's football, it's the fair, it's all kind of great things go on in Lancaster and Fairfield County this time of year. And one of the events, and it only happens once a year, and we're always enjoy having folks on to talk about it, is the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce each year awards many awards. They have a big banquet. They have a lot of great awards they hand out, and wonderful people over there. But one of the ones we focus on each year is the Athena Award, and that's the award to the top female in Lancaster and Fairfield County. It's an award for what you've done the past year, and it's really, when you look at the people that have won it, this was the 36th year this has gone on. It's really a who's who of women in Fairfield County. It's a pleasure to have with me the latest, the 36th recipient. To my right, Mary Snider, president of this very fine institution, Fairfield Federal. Mary, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's what an award. I mean, how cool is this?
Very
cool.
Nice.
When you see those other folks up there, people you've known your entire life,
right.
And now it's like a pretty cool club to be in.
It sure is. It's really an honor.
Oh, well, and well deserved. We say that.
Thank
you do a lot for Lancaster and Fairfield County, and the folks that are behind this award. The chamber is of course involved, but for years it was the Oldsmobile division. Which of course we all remember. The McGraw family Oldsmobiles was legendary around here. Bob was the guy that got this started, and we have the guy that carries on that tradition here, John. Nice to talk about your dad periodically.
Yes, sir, it is.
Fond memories of that guy.
Yes, sir, it is.
He was a good guy, and this, again, 36 years ago this started, and it was McGraw, Oldsmobile. They were kind of the people behind this.
Oldsmobile division, which was based in Lansing, Michigan, where the Athena Award was actually founded.
Okay.
Oldsmobile thought this award needed to go nationwide, so through the then network of Oldsmobile dealers, the division took it nationwide. We're one of the few families that was an Oldsmobile dealer at one time that has continued on sponsoring this award. So we're very proud to be able to sponsor this in this community and have very deserving recipients such as Mary.
Now, how is that judging? I'm sure there are nominations given, and more than one person is up every year, and everybody looks at it. Is it a board? Is it the chamber that decides that? Is it the McGraw family? How is that done?
The executive committee of the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce.
Who does all the awards?
Mm-hmm.
It picks this award too.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's and again, I want to say thanks to you, and certainly to your dad, and even back in those days, Oldsmobile, because you've been able to keep this alive, and it's nice to keep the McGraw name going in town. You do that very well, and no problem with that. But when we think of McGraw, I think we always think of Bob and
My dad
everybody
was
out
very
there.
community-minded.
Yes.
And if you look back at the past 36 years, the recipients, Lancaster Fairfield County would not be what it is today without the involvement and talents of people like Mary and the 35 previous recipients.
Again, my guest to my right is Mary Snider. Mary was the 36th recipient of the Athena Award just last month. She was named by, again, the chamber's involved in that, and the McGraw family with the Athena Award. And John McGraw with us, who represents the McGraw family, who've kept this award. And again, it's not as big as it once was, but we're fortunate that we have people here that continue to do this award in Lancaster and Fairfield County. And again, it was a surprise to you. Last year we had Laura Tussing on. It was a surprise to Laura, so you're there with other people, just like you always are, probably for every year you go to that. And what were your first thoughts? What am I going to say?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But I have to admit I was a little suspicious. We always send a group of staff members
You
to
have
the
to go,
banquet,
Mary.
but we had quite a turnout for it.
Oh,
that
oddly
night,
enough,
and-
it's funny how that works.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
it was really just such a nice surprise and a real honor.
Well, as John indicated, and as we've talked here, you know, this is really, when you see I saw a picture, I think it was in the town crier, I saw a picture of as many recipients as they had there, and there were probably maybe 15 of them around the picture there of you and John getting the award. But as I was looking at that, it was really kind of a who's who in Fairfield County women who've done exemplary work individually and collectively for themselves and for their businesses. In your case, the way you know, John talked about his dad being very community minded. I think of Fairfield Federal and a tremendous, I think about the bus and Ron and Judy and the people before you. You had great role models to learn from about, and I especially Ron, because I dealt with him a lot, a very community-oriented person who understood that it meant a lot to give back.
That's right.
And I know you tried to carry that on here.
I do, yeah. You know, I love this community, so it's easy for me to support, and it's always been such a good fit, and why, you know, I've enjoyed working for Fairfield Federal. It's just compatible.
Well, just a wonderful person to get it to. I'd agree with John on that. You're certainly a well-deserved recipient. I hope your year is a good one with that. And you talk about your dad being such a community-oriented guy. I guess that's really what this Athena Award is about somebody that exhibits these qualities that your dad thought were probably, I don't know, back then, maybe your dad picked it. I don't even know how it worked 36 years ago. But maybe it was the chamber back then, too, that did it. But it's always been just kind of one of the really big awards.
Paul, this award recognizes an individual's commitment to their profession, their commitment to their business, their commitment to the community, but also their commitment to the advancement of women. And if you look back over the 36 years, these recipients have opened doors for women to be able to excel and advance themselves, all the while giving back to their community and giving back to their profession. So it's truly an honor to receive this award. I mean, it's not something that's just won over the course of a year's time.
Yes.
This is years of commitment to their profession and the community. So
And I look at those women, and I think we talked about the first one may have been Jane Jose.
Correct.
But you look from Jane and all those women forward, like you say, and those women who've won it before, they're the ones that are still around, they're still giving. You look at Perline or Kathy Bittler or Laura Tussing, or people that more recent or further back, they're all still giving to the community. And I guess that's what it represents, is just pretty much a lifetime body of work. You can't stop now just because you've won the award. The job isn't over yet, you know.
Yeah.
But well, congratulations.
Thank
it was
you.
Just a real honor, and again, Fairfield Federal is such a team player in the community. I know when we used to deal with Christus so much here, you know, everybody here goes out on community days. They're real involved, and not because it's you know, it's just good to have our name out there, but it's the right thing to do, I think. And that's what I think your dad saw in this, is that giving back to a community where he was from, where you're from, where you grew up. This is really why you're in a town like Lancaster.
Yes, it's provided a very good living to my family over the years, and quite honestly, we can never repay Lancaster and Fairfield County for the life that it's given.
And I was thinking, as you ticked off the qualities that you're up for when you're up for this award, individually, your business, a lifetime of work, things like that, I'm sure glad I didn't have to pick that award, because the women that did not win the award this year that were up, each one of them probably would have been an exemplary winner themselves, and may be a winner in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very deserving individuals.
Yeah,
in this
I'm glad it's the executive committee that has to make that. So again, the 36th annual Athena Award winner, Mary Snider, here with us, and to my far right is John McGraw, who with the McGraw family kind of got this started 36 years ago, and Mary was the latest winner back in September, so it's a year-long event here, having her as the Athena Award winner, and I'm sure Shane will get a good shot of that award, but congratulations again, just very deserving, just real proud that Fairfield Federal is just a wonderful example, and I'm sure people will look at that and see that. So thanks to the McGraw family and to you, Mary, and to Fairfield Federal. Great job, everybody involved. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
John, we'll see you in a year.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Back with us in just a moment.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
When I volunteer, when I come over here, first thing I think about is my dad. But then also think about all the people that helped us when we were here.
Something brings me here, and I feel that it's my dad's spirit. He wants us here. He wants us to give back because of what they did for him. And I think that's helped me with a lot of my grief.
The support of the people here and the volunteers, that makes it a great place.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
Greetings from Fairfield DD. We are excited to share the joys of the fall season with you. As we move into cooler weather, we hope to see you at Football Friday nights and the County Fair. As you enjoy the season of changing colors, we also want to remind you of the change we hope to see. We pursue a vibrant community where everyone leads a fulfilling life and everyone makes meaningful contributions. Don't forget to stop by our social purpose enterprise, Art and Clay on Main and Square 7 Coffee House, to paint a new piece for your table this season or enjoy a handcrafted fall beverage.
Bay Food Market is Fairfield County's source for high-quality, locally sourced meats. The meat case is always full of quality fresh beef, pork, gourmet burgers, and gourmet brats for you and your family to enjoy. Bay Food Market cures and smokes their own hams, bacon, and sausage. Visit Bay Food Market at the corner of Maple and Walnut Streets in Lancaster and discover the Bay Food Market difference. Open daily 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed Thursday and Sunday. Bay Food Market, proudly serving Fairfield County families for more than 90 years.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. I want to thank our previous guests who started the show. We're very fortunate to have Mary Snider and then John McGraw on talking about the Athena Award. Just great to have them on, two great people, and we're certainly pleased for Mary to have won that award. Nice. We do it right here. We were able to get her here pretty easily. It was nice. We're going to continue in the vein of things that are happening in Lancaster and Fairfield County. And one of them I just kind of got wind of not too long ago was a new project that really has had some legs for years, but hasn't taken off. And now it's kind of getting some traction and people are starting to talk about it more. And this is an all-accessible sports complex and park, Inc. It's out on College Avenue, which is, if you know where Forest Rose, the building for Forest Rose complex is, right beside it is a soccer field. Well, it's that soccer field we're talking about. There's a movement afoot to build change that soccer field into a baseball field and a soccer field as well, for not only folks with disabilities, but all abilities park. And to talk about that is the young lady who I've had the pleasure of talking with this about it for a while now is Melissa Eaton. Melissa, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Melissa, you're the treasurer of this and kind of the main squeeze. I'll say that too. You're kind of the one, the go-to girl on this. We can talk to you about this. Melissa kind of took it over from her dad, Terry, who was kind of running this thing for a long time, and your Aunt Sally too. Your Aunt Sally was involved in this. And this is kind of a project I know was pretty close to your dad's heart about getting this going. So this is a project to convert that soccer field, which is a big place right there and has been there for many, many years, but to change this to an all-abilities baseball field and soccer field too. They'll all kind of fit in there?
Correct, yes. It wouldn't be a big enough baseball field for, say, high school competitive leagues.
Sure. It's not Beavers Field.
Right, it's not Beavers Field. It's more of, a smaller scale field that's made of rubberized turf to be safe and handicap accessible for people of all abilities, especially those with disabilities that might not be able to play, on a regular ball team.
Sure.
And also this field can be used by the Forest Rose students during their day.
Nice.
For their adaptive physical education classes.
Now, I do have not a lot of experience on this, but the Kiwanis Club that I've involved in, we just finished up last year an all-abilities playground out on Hunter Trace. If you've ever been out there and looked at that or seen that, it's right there before you get to the traffic light as you're going out of town. There's a little open area right there where there's a nice building there, and then Kiwanis was involved with the Lancaster Parks and Recreation Department to build that. And this is probably what it's going to be. It's going to be a type of rubberized surface on there so that people with any type of handicap can get around on that. Would that be correct?
That's correct, yes. Wheelchairs will be able to be on there, and it's also a softer surface for those if for instance they fell or things like that.
So will there be dugouts there? Will be everything just like a regular ballpark?
Yes, there'll be dugouts. They'll be covered, and they'll also be able to host wheelchairs. And then there'll be spectator seating, both handicap and regular.
It's a whole different breed of things when you start including handicapped into every aspect of it in terms of whether it's a refreshment stand, whether it's a dugout, whether it's the bases. I mean, when you start putting every aspect of it handicap accessible, it really puts a whole different spin on it. You played softball. It's just not like a softball field.
Correct. Yes.
And I know this stuff is really inexpensive to buy.
Especially these days.
I mean, and maybe I never thought about that. Maybe it's worse now with all what we would think of as supply chain issues.
It is.
You look at things, if you just go to Lowe's to buy anything, which you don't buy this stuff at Lowe's, but this is very specific to this kind of a field. I know this surface, it is unique, and it's made to be durable because it has to be outside in all weather. There'll be months when nobody will be on it, nothing but snow on it. It has to be able to survive that. So there aren't probably that many companies and many places to buy this stuff, which probably means it gets fairly expensive.
You're correct. And actually our original supplier that my dad had lined up prior to COVID went out of business during COVID. So we're still trying to work through finding a turf supplier for the actual rubberized turf. But we do have a contractor lined up, and for the rest of the field, besides the turf, and everything is designed at this point through a local architect. So, we're ready to go. But yes, the costs are pretty significant.
And let's just put that out there. Now, this is an all-accessible sports complex, which means we're talking about a soccer field and a baseball diamond to some degree out there. And what would be the big picture dollars that if magically we could come up with this amount, what would that be?
Well, right now we're looking with the field, the rubberized turf, and the facilities, the handicap accessible restrooms, a concession stand, a shelter house area. We're looking at $1.8 million.
Sure.
Which we have actually raised and have commitments for half of that to this point.
Nice.
So we're trying to raise the second half of those funds.
Sure. So almost $1 million still yet to go.
Yep, 900,000 or so.
Under that, but still you need a sizable amount of change.
Right, and we probably, at this point, we're working with a contractor and trying to find a new turf supplier. We probably have the funds to possibly build the field without facilities, and that's something our board has been discussing in recent months as to whether we go ahead and start on the field and then continue to raise funds for the facilities, or whether we wait for the whole project at once.
And we want to, again, make sure that we understand that Forest Rose, this is going to be their access all the time. They can get to that whenever they want it. So it isn't just something that's used once or twice a week. You know, that the Forest Rose folks there, the young people, the teachers, everybody can use that all the time. And then it's also for all abilities, so people not necessarily with a handicap be able to use that too.
Correct, and I've talked to a few people about, you know, maybe we could do similar to what the Forest Rose School does with their younger kids, having classrooms with half typical kids, half kids with disabilities. Maybe we could set up some leagues that factor that same concept, and that's kind of a goal, you know, to start with there with the field.
Okay. It's a great project. I'm going to say it's worthwhile, and I know you're involved with Ed Payne and his business over there on Madison Avenue, the Disability Center. I'm sure he's been a good guide for you and can probably give you a lot of insight into this.
Yes, he's been great, and we also have Dave Maciosi on our board.
Dave has been in this fundraising thing for a while.
Yep, and Sally Grimm, which is my aunt, who's been involved with a lot of charities in the county. Derek Up, who I think is involved with Fairfield DD, he's on our board, and we have some other individuals that have been helping out.
So if somebody is interested in getting more information, is there a phone number that somebody can call or somebody they can contact on this?
Well, there's multiple ways. First, we have a website. It's www.playingwithoutlimits.org.
Okay. Playingwithoutlimits.org. Okay.
You can find lots of information. We put our board minutes up there. We have the drawings for the complex there. A way to donate. There's an online way to donate, or where to send the donations to, as well as contact information. You can always contact me. My cell number is 740-438-1757. And again, any of the other board members that I spoke of, they're all very familiar with the project.
And all that information is on the website?
All that information is on the website. We also have a Facebook page. Just look for All Accessible Sports Complex, and we put information up there too.
And we want to mention too, you know, we want to mention that we already did, that Forest Rose is really involved in this. You know, it's going to be their place right there beside them, and they have access to it all the time. But then also that the monies are being run through the foundation, the Fairfield County Foundation.
Correct.
Which is a great place to go because they handle funds for almost every big project here in town. So Amy and the folks up there, they'll do a great job of, I know your dad was involved with that up there, kind of channeling the money. So, I mean, there's no question about this is, you know, it's going to go to this project if you give.
Correct. For one, we're also a 501c3 organization, but we do run all of our funds through the Fairfield County Foundation, so you can donate through the Fairfield County Foundation also. You can mail donations there. But yeah, we work in a partnership with them on collecting funds.
Melissa Eaton has been our guest here, and we're talking about the all-accessible sports complex and park out there next to Forest Rose. I guess the address is 739 College Avenue. I didn't know that. I've learned that now. But it's right there beside Forest Rose School, and everything's right there where that soccer field is. It's a wonderful project. If you have any questions, I'd go to the website, which was, again,
www.playingwithoutlimits.org.
Playingwithoutlimits.org. Got a lot of information on the website, how to give, how to maybe get some of your questions answered without having really to call anybody and find out. But again, the money's handled through the foundation. It's all going to go to this project. They've got a lot of money to raise. We hope this gets some real big legs and takes off. So, Melissa, thank you for joining us. We'll keep an eye on this, and we'll get you back on as we get closer on this. It's a wonderful project, so thanks for taking it on.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Melissa Eaton with us. Thank you for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.